Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So in last episode, we had the second round of the playoffs against the Arizona Coyotes, and we managed to beat them in a 6-game series. It was a pretty close series in some games, other games not so much, but at least we have found ourselves back up here in the conference finals against the Los Angeles Kings. We did play them in the conference finals like 3 years ago, so hopefully getting some redemption for that. And yeah, winner of this series will face either Boston or Montreal for the Stanley Cup, which should be interesting. So right now we've been still kind of heavily reliant on our top lines, but a couple of guys had a really good second round. So at least it seems like the depth scoring is starting to improve, because you can see guys like Recchi stepped up, Kabanov stepped up. Nazar's still a little bit quiet, but in general some of our players have started to step up a little bit. Like Lowry had 3 goals in the last round, so hopefully we can get more depth scoring in this conference finals, because I don't really know if we have a chance to win the Stanley Cup, because you need to have good depth scoring to win. And so far guys like Corrado, Ziska have been really disappointing in terms of their point production on that third line. So hopefully that gets going a little bit. And yeah, we're going to be taking on a Los Angeles Kings team that was below us in the standings again, so we have home ice advantage for this conference finals. But as you can see, if I go to the Western Conference here, we finished with 102 points. They finished with 97 points. So very close in terms of the record. We both had the exact same amount of wins. We just had more OT losses than regulation losses, and that was pretty much the difference in the regular season. They also had a fantastic penalty kill in the regular season, so we definitely got to be a little bit weary that they can score shorthanded and also play really good defensively on that PK. So hopefully our power play unit like Vance and stuff like that could help us get some goals in this conference finals and get us to our first ever cup finals, because we have not been to a cup finals yet, and we're already like 13 seasons I guess into this, or so, or 12 seasons into this. So we are definitely due for a Stanley Cup win soon. So anyways, let's see what happens in this conference finals, see if we could get ourselves to our first Stanley Cup finals of this franchise mode, and also get redemption on LA for beating us in the conference finals like 3 seasons ago. Here we go, game 1 on home ice. Let's see if Vance and the guys can get it done. First period of game number 1, and it's scoreless. Okay, I'll take that. I will take that, because sometimes we're trailing like 1 or 2 goals after 1, so to have a scoreless first period, that's not bad. Obviously, the lack of offense is concerning, but to have like a very even first period, that's a good way to start off a series. Shots are 10-10 as well, so we have even shot-wise, good goaltending, good defensive play. And yeah, I don't know who's going to break the deadlock in the second period, but hopefully it is us. Second period, 1-1. Okay, it's still at a deadlock pretty much, but we're out shooting them badly now. We must have outshot them like 18-6 in that second period, but it's still 1-1. So Nico Daws is having a really good game, which is not great for us. But Connor McDavid opened the scoring really early on into the period, and then Ray tied it up for them. Like I said, shots are 28-16 in favor of us. It's still a 1-1 game, though, so hopefully we can find a way to score more goals on Nico Daws here in the third period. But come on, boys. Let's get that lead. Let's get that lead. They get the lead, goddammit. Gavin makes it 2-1 LA. Come on, Donald. You got to play a little bit better than that. Come on, offense. Gavin scores again. God damn it, Donald. We're definitely the better of the two teams right now in terms of shots. Brigley makes it a 3-2 game. Okay, and Vance ties it up. Let's go. What a roller coaster of a third period. I didn't think we were going to come back, especially that late. And we have forced overtime in game 1 of the conference finals. I honestly thought we were going to lose at that point. But in 2 goals in 30 seconds apart in the final 6 minutes, and we're going to overtime. Shots are 35-27 in favor of us. Brigley, who had not scored at all in these playoffs, so it's good to see somebody on a 4th line role step up and score a goal, because like I said, the depth scoring hasn't been great so far. And then Asher Vance, who's been scoring every round, has forced overtime. Can we get a game-winning goal in overtime in this conference finals? Come on, boys. Let's get it done. Let's complete that comeback. It was a 3-0 game, or 3-1 game at one point, and we are going to win in overtime. Let's go. And it's Brennan Bales, who has not done much at all in this playoff run, and we win game 1 of the conference finals 4-3, out shooting them 39-29. But we get the win. Nico Daws almost gave his team a chance to win that game. But we managed to rally late and win this first game of the conference finals. Let's go. McDavid from Vance and Reefers, Brigley from Pakishlani and Spiller, Vance from Reefers and McDavid, and Bales' second goal of the playoffs from Corrado. So, huge goal from the third line, who has not been doing much, like I said, so far in this playoff run, but they step up at the right time. Gavin, the first star for LA, Vance, the second star, and McDavid, the third. Let's go. We've got to win 3 more games still, and then we'll go to the Cup Finals. But we got to definitely be a little bit weary of LA. LA is definitely the toughest team we've had to play so far in this playoff run. So hopefully we can take a 2-0 series lead here. That would be great. We did have that type of scenario with the Winnipeg Jets in the first round where we won the first 2 games. Against Arizona, you could see we almost won the first 2 games, but we lost 1 in overtime. So I think we're going to keep our lineup the exact same going into next game. But right now, Connor McDavid is definitely our favorite for the Conn Smythe if we are to win a Stanley Cup in these next 2 episodes. Yeah, we're going to keep the lineup the exact same. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got to win in Game 1. We just need to find a way to win 3 more games here and get ourselves to that Cup Finals. Okay, here we go. Game number 2, still in Chicago. Can we keep using this home ice to our advantage and take a 2-0 series lead here? Come on, boys. Let's get it done. We had a great first game on that comeback. First period, 1-1. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a really even series. Because we've had like 3 periods at least of these 4 periods so far in this round where it's been deadlocked. So Sergachev opened to scoring for them. Brunstrom scores for us. So another goal from the blue line, which is great to see. The only blue liner who hasn't scored so far, I'm pretty sure, is Spiller. Shots are 10-8 in favor of us, but it's a 1-1 game. Can we get that lead in the second period? Second period, 2-2. Okay, yeah, this has definitely been a close series, at least in these first 2 games. Champion made it 2-1 LA again, but Vance answers right back. I love that Vance just has an answer for every single goal that an opponent scores. He's got like 13 goals in the playoffs so far. I don't even know how much, maybe 14 even. Shots are 19-16 in favor of LA. Can we find a way to take the lead in this third period and take a 2-0 series lead headed to Los Angeles? That would be huge. Come on, boys. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. We had a great third period last game. Let's go, Recchi. That's huge to give us the lead. It's our first time having the lead, I think, in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Final 10 minutes of this third period. We're still up by 1. Penalty kill in the third period. Nicely done, boys. Don't need to be taking third period penalties, though. It's a bit dangerous. Final few minutes, and a goal on the empty netter from Brunstrom, and we've won this game 4-2. And we win both of our home games, which puts us up 2-0 in the series and 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Brunstrom from Reefers, Vance from Reefers, Recchi from Spiller and Kabanov, and Brunstrom from Reefers and McDavid. Woo! Yeah, that top line still doing really well. Reefers with 3 assists gets first star, Brunstrom the second star at 2 goals, and Asher Vance the third star with 1 goal. Good way to start off the conference finals with 2 wins. We definitely need to find ways to win on the road too, though. Because last time we had a 2-0 series lead. Actually, last round we were kind of flip-flopping with the Arizona Coyotes. So hopefully we could at least take one of these 2 games in Los Angeles. Because if we do that, we set ourselves up for a really good scenario to end off this conference finals. Obviously, if we lose both these games, that's a little bit iffy. But hopefully we can win at least one of these 2 games in LA. To help give us a better chance of going to that Stanley Cup Finals. Right now, looking like Montreal is going to be going to the finals unless Boston has 2 wins to bounce back against the Canadiens. Montreal in the Cup Finals. Has Chicago ever played Montreal for the Stanley Cup? Probably way back in time. I honestly don't know. Probably way back during the original 6 days. I would assume they played each other for a Stanley Cup, but honestly I have no idea. So let's keep the lineup the exact same. So far, so good. We're outscoring them 8-5, so it has been a really close series in those first 2 games. Can we take a 3-0 series lead and be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals? Come on, boys. We need to win one of these games in LA at least. And we'll set ourselves up for a good scenario here. Come on. Let's get her done. Vance has been fantastic still. Let's see if he has another game with another goal in him. First period of an important Game 3. We're up 3-0. Let's go. Vance has another goal in him. He scores first. Bales scores and Lowry scores. I don't know why Lowry's scoring so much. He has 4 goals in the playoffs now, and he only had like 4 goals in the regular season in 82 games. So all of a sudden he's turning out to be a playoff sniper or something like that. But shots are 15-6 in favor of us. We're up by 3 goals. That's a very, very good first period. We definitely need to contain this type of momentum, though, because obviously LA can score 1 or 2 goals in the second period and pull themselves back into this game. So just got to keep our foot on the gas here. Second period. So that's exactly what we need. Good defensive period. Don't need to necessarily add more goals, but just play good defensive hockey. And yeah, we're 20 minutes away from taking a 3-0 series lead on the LA Kings in the conference finals. Shots are 22-15. Let's go real-time simulation for his third period. And let's just lock this one down like we did in the second period. Long power play to start the period for us. We do not score on it, but at least it killed a lot of time off the clock. And then they break the shutout. Lockdownov makes it a 3-1 game. And then Len Morris answers back. Okay, nicely done, Len. He hadn't scored since the first round, I think. And then Josh Norris gets LA back on the board again. It's 4-2. Final few minutes, and we are going to hold them off. And we are 1 win away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time. Okay, so what a game. 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. I didn't think our team was going to get back to this chance. At least not just yet, just because I don't know, there was a little bit of uncertainty with this team. But with our team being as young as they are, going this far is fantastic. Considering we only have 1 30-year-old on our roster. Or actually 2 30-year-olds, I guess, with McDavid. But still, it's unreal how good this team is doing with how young they are. And a lot of these guys are like locked up as well for multiple years. So we might be able to turn this team into a little bit of a dynasty. So Vance from McDavid and Reefers, Bales from Ziska, Lowry from McDavid and Vance, and Morris from Nazar. 3 stars of the game, Vance the first star, McDavid the second star, and Bitts the third star. Okay, we are 1 win away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Obviously, if we have a chance to end the series off, like get the Western Conference Champion Award, obviously I will intervene and we'll watch the celebration for that, because we have not really seen anything like that yet in the series. So hopefully we could do it, and hopefully we don't get reverse swept here, because getting reverse swept in the conference finals would probably make me want to smash my head through a wall, to be honest. But and Boston is pulled back into the series, so they have a chance to maybe tie the series with Montreal. So we don't know still who we might face for that Stanley Cup yet. That is if we're able to get this 4th win. So here we go. Let's keep our team the exact same. We'll go real-time simulation. Can we sweep the Los Angeles Kings, or can we in general just get ourselves to that Stanley Cup Finals? Like I said, if we have a chance to win this Western Conference Champions, I will intervene and we will talk and watch Vance get his award and stuff like that, or get the team award potentially. Terry opens the scoring for LA. That's not a good start. A good start for Donald. Do have an answer for that at least. Penalty kill. Nicely done, boys. Come on, guys. Let's get that next one. Penalty kill. Stop taking penalties. Thank you. Let's get that next goal, though. At least we're still within 1 goal. That's okay first period. All things considered, we took out a little bit too much penalties, but to only be down by a goal and the shots being even, that's not terrible. We just need to find a way to get at least a goal in the second period to pull us back into this one. Come on, boys. Let's play another good defensive period and get us back on the board here. Power play to start the second period, and we do not score on it. Power play again. Come on, boys. We do not score on it. Damn, both teams struggling on the power play, even though the LA Kings already have one on the power play. Lockdownov makes it 2-0. Yeah, LA was definitely bound to win a game, at least in this conference finals. And we're going to be down 2-0 going into the third. We are out shooting them 21-20, but it's still a 2-0 lead for LA. Let's real-time simulate this third period, but looks like we're going to have to go back to home ice for a chance to close out the series. But yeah, LA was definitely going to win at least maybe 1 game. Kabanov makes it 2-1, and then Chubarov scores for them. Damn, I thought we might have been able to have a chance to tie this one back up. But that goal from Chubarov is a big one for them, and then Lockdownov scores. All these offs are scoring. Yeah, that's the LA Kings that played good during the regular season. And we're unfortunately going to lose 4-1 in Game 4, and the LA Kings have won their first game of the conference finals. A little bit too much penalties in that game, I think, for our team. Double minor penalty for high sticking against Bales. Recchi fought Ray. That's interesting. 3 stars of the game, all LA Kings players. Yeah, Nico Dawes had his strongest game so far, I'd say, of this conference finals. Okay, we got to be a little bit weary here. We have a 3-1 series lead, but it could come all crashing down. Montreal also has a 3-1 series lead on Boston, so they're 1 win away from going to the Cup Finals. And Montreal is a scary team. Oh boy. Because as we were talking in the regular season, they had a really good top line. Parks, Manlow, and Caulfield. We go to the Stanley Cup Finals and we face them. That is going to be a very tough and interesting matchup, I think. I feel like I'm going to make a change, I think, in our lineup. I could go back to Howden again, but Donald's the guy. Let's give Donald one more opportunity. If he loses this game, then I'll turn to Howden. But let's see if we could close out LA on home ice here. It's a 3-1 series lead. We win this game. We close out the series and we go to a Cup Finals. Come on, boys. We're 2-0 so far on home ice in this conference finals. Let's close out LA. Because if we lose this game, I'm starting to get a little bit worried in that sense. And we open the scoring. It's Vance. Let's go, Vance. Whenever Vance scores, good things happen. So that's a good way to start off this game. Nice penalty kill there. Stop taking so much penalties in the first period. Damn. It's back-to-back games where we've taken like so many penalties in this first. Still up by a goal, which is good. And that is going to be the case after 1. Pretty even period, similar to last game. 1-0 after 1. Shots 10-9 in favor of us. Let's get some insurance in the second period, boys. Let's get some insurance. Hey, Vance scores a power play goal. Yeah, Vance is definitely going for the goal record in the playoff run. He just loves to score goals, and I don't blame the guy. Scoring goals is a lot of fun. We have still a 2-0 lead. Not a lot of shots in this game, and Spiller scores his first NHL playoff goal. He only had 1 goal in the regular season, and that's a really big goal to give us a 3-0 lead going into the third. Shots are 20-15. We're 20 minutes away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's go real-time simulation, and like I said, we will intervene with a few minutes left. Yeah, Kabanov makes it 4-0. We're going to the Cup Finals. Are we taking on that tough Montreal team is the question. Locktiana makes it 4-1. Final 10 minutes. I will intervene with like 2 or 3 minutes left probably so we can see the celebration and talk over it. Let's go right here. But it looks like we're actually going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Asher Vance is going to have a chance to win a Stanley Cup. But we're going to be going up against a very, very tough team. Like, I am kind of scared, to be honest. Because Manlow, Caulfield, and Parks, all those guys are really good offensively. So the Montreal is definitely going to be the toughest task we've had to face yet. But at least we're getting ourselves to the Cup Finals. Because, yeah, we have not been there before. This is the farthest we've ever been. So, good things are coming. And hopefully we could turn this team into a team that wins like multiple playoff, like multiple Stanley Cups if we get this cup win this year. Because, yeah, this team definitely deserves to get multiple cups after how good we've drafted over these like years and whatnot. Like, even though we've not won a Stanley Cup, this series has definitely been one of my favorite series in a sense, just because we've drafted so much really good young talent. And like, we're having a competitive team, and all these guys, like I said, pretty much are under 30 years old. Like, I'm pretty sure the oldest guy that's a guy we drafted is Vance, and he's 28. Nazar was a guy I had to make for this franchise mode, and he's 30. Oh my goodness. Yo. Did you see that? Frank Nazar bats it out of the air, and that's a 5-1 game. Holy. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen an AI do that in a game that we've just jumped in on. Well, that's an insult to injury right there. Recchi's jumping up in the point leaders on our team as well, but I want to take a look at that. Holy. I was just talking in general, and then all of a sudden, Recchi throws his pass, or shot to the net, down low. This rebounds out, and Nazar's there to just knock it right into the wide open net. What a goal. Unfortunately, he runs right into the net, but that's a brilliant goal. Yeah, that's really nice. That is beautiful. Well, hopefully he can do that type of thing in the Stanley Cup Finals, because he's not been scoring a lot in this playoff run. But at least he gets one there. And a big save by Donald. At least Donald's pads also look like they are actually Chicago Blackhawks pads, because sometimes goalies that you have for your teams, they don't look like your team's pads. But man, Asher Vance is top in hits in the playoffs as well. Asher Vance literally does everything. Like, he's definitely captain material. No wonder we made him the captain. Scores goals. He has good takeaway numbers. His faceoffs are solid. He scores short-handed goals. And yeah, him and McDavid have been insane in this run so far. And yeah, Vance is going to get a chance to play for his first Stanley Cup. That's going to be exciting to see him in a Stanley Cup Finals matchup, because he's been really good so far this playoff run. What is he going to do in a Finals? Like, it's basically him versus Parks, because Parks, I think, was the guy that finished as the Richard winner this year. And then obviously Vance has won a couple of them in the last few years too, so it's going to be the two of those guys against each other. Reefers gets a good chance and Dawes stops him with 6 seconds left. What an effort here in this conference finals. I am very excited to see what we can do in this cup finals. Our two of our top liners throw the most hits, it seems like. So Reefers also throws a lot of hits. That's interesting. And yeah, with Reefers winning faceoffs and Vance being as good of a shooter, McDavid being a good setup guy, it's not a surprise that we're going all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in this series. We are 4 wins away from winning our first cup. The only thing is, if we lose McDavid in the offseason to like retirement or something like that, is that going to hurt our team? Or is our team going to have enough in it to go far? Like, is Kabanov going to be a good first-line center at some stage? I don't know. A first-line player. Because maybe he was the top-line guy of the future. But, man, we are 4 wins away. Let's go. And there is Asher Vance. First time we've seen him in a cutscene. Shaking a hand for the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl. Let's go. Wow. Conference Finals is complete. We are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's get this out of the way. I just want to see Asher Vance on the ice, though, because I want to make sure I have a good screenshot of him. Because he is going to be maybe one of the best players we've ever had in... ever, I think. Just let's get a screenshot of him. Open your eyes there, Vance. There you go. There he is. That captain. There you go. And there's Reefers and McDavid in his short time here. Let's go. Who was the third star in that game? Connor Recchi had 3 assists in that clinching game. Yeah, he's definitely stepped it up. Azar had 3 points. We saw that 1 goal. That was a nice goal, though. Knocking it out of the air. What hand-eye. And then who was first star in that game? First star was Asher Vance with 2 goals. Let's go, Vance. I love Vance so much. And hopefully we can get him that cup this year because, yeah, obviously with his contract getting close to being done, it's bound time for us to get him a cup. So, and Montreal did win against Boston, so they also won in 5 games, which means we have an original 6 matchup for the Stanley Cup. Chicago versus Montreal. We have home ice advantage. They didn't have a great season, but they had some really good players, so that's a bit interesting. They went 42, 30, and 10. We are the favorite to win the Stanley Cup this year if we could shut down their top line. Because I know their top line is good, but I don't know how good the rest of their team is. But let's take a look first at our player stats in this playoff run. And then we'll compare the 2 of us in the regular season and in the playoffs. And then we'll take a look at their lineup and also see who's been producing for them so far. So, we actually want to go to our team. Let's go centers. McDavid, 26 points. He's been fantastic. Vance has been good. Reefers has been good. Like, our general top line, fantastic numbers. Second line, Kabanov and Azar, pretty solid. Azar seems to be picking it up a bit. Brigley's been okay as a 4th liner. Ziska's been really quiet. Bales has also been quiet, but he had an OT winning goal, so I can't complain. Yeah, the depth scoring is still a little bit of a problem, but at least the top 6 is doing really well. Like, Recchi's definitely improving in this last 2 rounds. And then defensively, Burnstrom's been solid. Lowry and Spiller have been fantastic in the defensive end, though. Spiller's a plus 16. Pretty good stuff from the youngster. And goalie-wise, Donald, Yeah, goaltending has still been a bit iffy at times, but it's okay. So there is that. Let's take a look at how Montreal did during the regular season compared to us, and then we will take a look at their playoff stats compared to us as well, and then we'll take a look at their roster. So entire league-wise, It's actually, let's go to where do we want to go? Let's go entire league. We were the 7th best team. They were the 12th best team. They scored more goals per game than us because of their top line. Yet they just barely made the playoffs with a 500 record. Almost. Oh man, I just burped. Oop. They were worse defensively than us. They were better on the power play, which helps out their offense. And they were terrible on the penalty kill. So we were a better defensive team. They were a better offensive team. They did score short-handed goals, though, like crazy, 11 of them. Similar records on home ice and on the road. Playoff-wise, though, how have they been doing so far? I am curious on that. They're 12-2 in this playoff run so far. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. They're dominating the playoffs right now. Like, they're having a historically good playoffs. They've only lost 2 games in the first 3 rounds. One was against Boston. I don't know when the other one was. But, oh man. They're scoring more goals per game than us. They have scored 54 goals in 14 games. Their defense is great. Our power play is better. And our penalty kill is better. So our special teams are better. They're better 5-on-5. And yeah, they're 6-1 on home ice and 6-1 on the road. I hope we sweep them. I hope we sweep them because I am really concerned about that. Because in the first round, they took out Detroit in 5 games. They swept the Sens in the second round. And then they took out Boston in 5 games. As a team that just barely made it into the playoffs. Yeah, this is a bit concerning. This is a bit concerning. Like I said, I know they have a really good top line. But man, that is not good. Let's take a look at their lines. And then we'll take a look at their stats as well. Because I am curious on how good this top line has been for them. So, yeah, that top line is fantastic. That second line is good, too, in terms of centers. But Sylvain Parks, 93 overall. And then you have Lou Manlow, 93 overall. Both these guys are only 25. And you have Cole Caulfield, who is 34, but 89. Second line, Damian Coyle, Uriel Griffin, who is a 26-year-old, 88. And Darby, who's 25, who only 81. So their depth in terms of wingers aren't that good, but their center depth is really good. And they obviously have that really good top line. Third line, Victor Korolev, Chris Pritchett, and Graham Clark. And a fourth line of Bemstrom, Pinelli, and Brooks. Yeah, that's scary. That top line. And then they have a really good defender in Grabowski, who's an 88, who's just coming back from injury. Lilia Grin, who's been simulating really good for an 81. Lundqvist, Alos, Gudobin, and Lowe. Goalie-wise, Neduk Pozo. You gotta be joking me. Neduk Pozo, he's having a fantastic playoffs right now. We played this guy a few years ago, and he had a fantastic playoffs as well. Because he was with the Oilers team that knocked us out in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Because you guys mentioned about getting beat by Ned, I think it was. But he's an unreal playoff goalie right now. A career .943 save percentage in the playoffs. So this guy might be the cheese goalie. And he also had a good playoffs in the AHL. He won a Calder Cup too. So yeah, Neduk Pozo is one of the best playoff goalies I think I've ever seen. And then Carter Hart's the backup. And depth-wise, they have Zach Jones, Cody Glass, and Tyler Madden. Yeah, I'm really concerned. Let's take a look at their player stats. How good has Parks, Manlow, and Caulfield been this playoff run for them? But yeah, it's basically our top line versus their top line. It is going to be a shootout, potentially, in this Stanley Cup Finals. Let's see what we got. Okay, these guys aren't crazy over point per game. I expect them to be a little bit higher up, but they do have great depth scoring. Lundqvist has been really good, surprisingly, on defense. Yeah, they've had good depth scoring. It's not that their top line has been unreal. Mind you, they've only played 14 games up to this point. So, yeah, I'm really scared. I am very scared for the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, Neduk Pozo has been unreal. Hopefully we just blow the guy up completely. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So the next episode will take you to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Montreal Canadiens as we look to win our first Stanley Cup of the franchise mode. So anyways, think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.